So what is going on, everyone? This is Fabi here, and today we're going to take a look at both the iPhone 5s and the iPhone 5. We're going to do a comparison of both of them, and we are going to take a look at the design, the features, and the speed of performance of both of them. Now, the iPhone 5s over here on the left is not mine, of course, it's the iPhone 5s of a friend of mine. You are going to be able to check out his channel in the description down below. He posts tech videos in Romanian, so if you guys understand Romanian, I would definitely tell you guys to go ahead and subscribe to his channel. This iPhone over here is, of course, mine, so let's take a look at both of them.
And action.
Now, taking a look at the design of these phones, you can definitely see that from the front, they're not much different. Other than the fact that the iPhone 5s has this fingerprint sensor, they're pretty much the same. The bezel is a little bit lighter on the iPhone 5s, but of course that's just a small difference that only a few people will be able to notice. Now, taking a look at the back of these phones, you can definitely see that the iPhone 5s has the true phone flash, the True Tone flash, and you can see my friend over here, he's messing up my comparison of these phones. Now, when you look at the bottom of these phones on the iPhone 5s, as you can see, and the iPhone 5, they've both got the same features, they've both got the same connectors and things like that, so I'm not going to talk about that, but now we are going to jump straight into features. Now, talking about features, one of the most important features on the iPhone 5s is, of course, the fingerprint sensor, which you can pretty much unlock your phone by just pressing the home button and letting it a few seconds to recognize your finger. And as you can see, it works most of the time. As far as I've heard, it doesn't work when your finger is either dirty or when it's sweaty. So other than that, it really works awesome. And for people like me who have never used before a passcode, I understand that this is pretty cool because it's much easier to unlock your phone. Now, the second most important feature on the iPhone 5s is probably the camera. Not only does it have a better sensor, it also has better software to go hand in hand with it, and of course it does have some different features, such as slow motion, such as burst mode, and others as well. Now, taking a look at the camera, in iOS 7 you can of course get to the camera by just swiping up from the home screen, from the lock screen. Over here my friend is again messing with my video, and I don't like that at all. Over here we have the slow motion mode, which I am going to probably put an example of in this video later on. Of course, we do have the burst mode over here, which you can simply access by just pressing on the and as you can see over there, you can hear it. Just pressing on the shutter button, and it will just capture a lot of pictures. Now, going on the iPhone 5, and I just failed right there. Going on the iPhone 5, you can do that as well, but it's much slower. So you can hear it's really slow. You can look at the bottom left-hand corner. As I promised, here we have the slow motion function of the iPhone 5s, and as you can see, it functions beautifully, and it starts with the video in normal speed, and then it slows down. Here you can see the comparison between the iPhone 5s and the iPhone 5 flash shot. You can definitely see that the True Tone flash in the iPhone 5s delivers much better colors, and everything just pops out of the picture, and it's really cool. Now we're going to take a look at a few benchmarks, and of course we are going to clear both of the multitasking bars. As you can see, they're both clear. We are first of all going to run Geekbench on both of these devices. This is Geekbench 3, by the way. It's the newest version. And as you can probably tell, we are also going to take a look at the specs of each and every phone. The iPhone 5s has a dual-core 1.3 GHz processor running with 1 GB of RAM, whereas the iPhone 5 in theory pretty much has the same specs. It has a 1.3 dual-core CPU with 1 GB of RAM, but the iPhone 5s is much faster because it has a 64-bit processor. Now we are going to run both of these benchmarks, and I'm going to be right back with you when they're done. Now we can see that the scores on both of these devices. The iPhone 5s completely destroys the iPhone 5. It just blows it out the water, and it scores a 2,500 score, whereas the iPhone 5 scores in at 1,300. The multi-score score is pretty much double on the iPhone 5s as well as on the iPhone 5. So of course we have a winner over here, and that's for sure the iPhone 5s. Now we are going to run the second benchmark, which pretty much tests the performance of the GPU of each and every phone, whereas the first one, Geekbench, only mostly tested the CPU. So let's take a look at both of them. We are going to run, I think, the first test. I'm not really sure. We are going to run this one. We are going to run both of them, and I am going to be back with you with the results. Now, something else that I wanted to mention is the fact that I had to start rescuing the iPhone 5S during the test because the battery was on the verge of dying, so I didn't want to lose the phone. So as you can see over here, the tests are really, really different. Now, the iPhone 5S scored in at 9,000 points, whereas the iPhone 5 scored in at just shy of 3,300. So the score difference is about 3 times the score of the iPhone 5S is about 3 times that of the iPhone 5, which is really, really impressive. Now, the last test we are going to take a look at is Sunspider, which is a browser-based test that pretty much tests the performance of the browser and JavaScript of the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 5. Now, we are going to open these tests in a private mode session because we don't want any of the cache or data to influence the test. So we are going to type in Sunspider, both of these, right here and over on my iPhone 5. Just 1 second. And I'm obviously failing because it's really hard to type while you're doing a video. And yeah. Now, as you can see, because I fast forwarded, we are now on the benchmark page, and we are going to start both of them at the same time, or at least attempt to do that. So let's go. Now that both of these are done, something that I also want to mention is the fact that the lower the score, the better. So the iPhone 5S scored in at 433 milliseconds, whereas the iPhone 5 scored in at about 700 milliseconds. Now, keep in mind, both of these scores are really, really good. I don't even think that modern day computers could get such scores, but the iPhone 5S is much faster than the iPhone 5, about twice as fast. Now we are going to start up some apps to see the performance, or the real-life performance, which is probably one of the most important things when it comes to speed tests. Now, a lot of you guys might think that benchmarks are really important, but nowadays they're not as important because manufacturers such as Samsung are starting to just tweak their devices to make sure that they perform better under benchmarks. So what really matters is the real-life performance, and we both know, or we all know, that the performance of iOS devices in real life is generally really, really good. So let's open up the App Store on both of these at the same time and see which one opens first. The iPhone 5S opened it first, but it was not really fair because my iPhone 5 was not on the featured page. Now we are going to open up iTunes on both of these. Let's try and open them up at the same time. As you can see, about the same. I would say that again the iPhone 5S opened up a little bit faster. Now we are going to open up, let's say, Calculator or something really basic. Both of them at the same time. There's not really a big difference right there. Let's try another app right here. Let's see which one. Having a little bit of a hard time picking the app. Let's see. Let's open up Google Translate. Both of them at the same time again. The iPhone 5S was clearly faster. Let's try and open up Yahoo Weather on both of these right here. And my iPhone 5 actually decided to restart. All of a sudden, it just had enough and it wanted to restart. That is pretty funny. Now let's try and open up Yahoo Weather to see which one of these is faster. As you can see, the iPhone 5S was clearly the winner right there as well. Now that we pretty much went through all of the steps that we wanted to go through to make this comparison of these devices, I would like to answer a few questions. Is it worth it to upgrade from the 5 to the 5S? Personally, I don't think so. Differences are definitely present, but it's nothing world-breaking. It's nothing really unimaginably needed for people who just use the devices normally. Now, if you really care about the fingerprint sensor, of course, go ahead and get it, but other than that, just stick with your iPhone 5 for another year till the iPhone 6 comes out. Other than that, is it worth it to upgrade from the iPhone 4 or the iPhone 4S? Definitely. The speed bump is definitely going to be present, and it's going to be something that you will feel when you're going to use your device normally. So if you guys like this video, make sure to like it, share it with your friends on Facebook and on Twitter, subscribe to my channel if you are new around here, and make sure to check out the channel of my buddy who has the iPhone 5S over here. He posts tech videos in Romanian, so go ahead and check him out and subscribe to his channel. Peace out, guys. Peace. Have an awesome day. Stay tuned.
Pa și pu. La revedere.